This movie tells a story about a runaway slave who forges through the swamps of Louisiana on a journey to escape plantation owners that nearly killed him. This movie is an interpretation of the real-life story of Gordon, an enslaved man known as Whip Peter. The movie treats the details of Peter's journey with respect and great admiration. However, this is a film more akin to a gritty survival actioner. It's a chase movie that takes its potency less from psychological realism than a brutal B-movie construction. It's something distinct from many recent big screen treatments of slavery theme and also, unfortunately, more shallow. Sooner than later, the movie turns into a conventional chase film. The movie is focusing more on slow motion takes and aesthetic violence than to tell a compelling story. The action-oriented scenes are somewhat decent. Unfortunately, the movie really struggles to make this story equally as interesting in the quieter moments. The violence and harshness parts of the movie works just enough, but the softness and intimacy parts don't really work. There's something missing in the quieter and more dramatic stretches, which require a steadier and subtler approach. This movie is often harrowing and gripping, but also less nuanced and too narrowly confined in genre conventions than its real-life protagonist deserves. The script is clunky and awkward throughout. The lines and dialogues sound really hackneyed and cliché from the other films we've seen of this ilk before. The movie suffocates under a wooden script full of banality. It doesn't know how to keep the momentum of the story going with clichés that border on parody. It also has structure problem, as many sequences within the swamp could be swept out with any other scene with little consequence, combined with the rare scene of Peter's family to remind the audience what he's fighting for. The drama feels flimsy when it strays from the swamps, rendering the politics of the time as almost secondary to the visual spectacle of a harrowing escape. Will Smith's performance is decent, but there's so little here that fleshes out Peter and little resonates about him. Hampered by a spare and spiritless screenplay, Will Smith gives a performance that struggles to shake its studied quality. The narrative leaves one wondering about who Peter was as a person. Overall, this movie really struggles to do its real-life survival story justice. This is a compelling story because of the truth behind it and the reality of what Peter fought for, not because of how the filmmakers are telling this story. The result is just familiar, generic, and less potent. The movie is just a disappointment. We do not recommend this movie at all.